Matters. Good morning. What is too much PDA?
It is, right here. Oh, this is beyond weird. Please.
I like it. I like being touched. I really do. And are you too affectionate?
Okay, so back with us this morning, our personality profiler, Dr. Richard Levak, helping us deal with whether or not, look, it's not a matter of whether you like it or not being touched. It's just a when and where, and do you like it in public? And that doesn't mean that you don't like affection. It just means maybe you don't need to show it to other people.
Well, affection is a very important part of human bonding.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Studies done during the Second World War when infants were separated from their mothers, and they were well taken care of, except they weren't touched. They failed to grow and thrive. Some died. Infants could die from not being touched enough and held enough. That's why we don't like mothers to prop up an infant with a bottle, because that touching is so important.
Right.
So as adults, affection, being touched, affection, being talked to in an affectionate manner, a very important part of relationships.
Is the affection you're talking about and the touch, is it just the physical touch, or can it be verbal as well?
It can be verbal, absolutely. Somebody, I mean, you exude a certain warmth, and it wouldn't be unusual for you if you were at a party and your husband's right next to you, and you said something to someone. That wouldn't be unusual, right?
No, I like to touch people.
You like to touch people, and people who are more extroverted and energetic can do that. Everybody wants affection. The problems arise when you and your partner have different ways of showing affection, and in public, if you're an introvert, you feel very awkward if somebody touches you.
Yes. That's me.
That's you.
I feel exactly that. But then again, when I was growing up, we did a lot in my family, do a lot of hugging and kissing, no matter, when you see each other. Where I saw other families, they did not do that. So,
yes.
So just because I don't go around in public like this one, touching a bunch of people, withholding affection in a relationship. I mean, you don't need to tell people how much of an influence that's going to have on your relationship, because if you put up walls and there's no affection, that's a massive problem.
One study, a survey of 1,000 students, found that people both show affection, sometimes manipulatively, and they withhold it. On average, people can withhold affection from their partner 4 or 5 times a week. It might be because you're angry. It might be because for women, sometimes they withhold physical affection because they're afraid that you will see it as a sexual green light.
Oh.
So they don't want to come up and give you a hug as they're passing because they're afraid you'll misunderstand it.
Oh, that makes sense.
So how bad is this withholding of that and of emotional affection and that kind of stuff?
Yes, research shows that couples who show affection, verbally and physically, people who like to be warm and affectionate, generally are happier. Your blood pressure, your cortisol, your stress hormones go down when you're affectionate, when you get affection. So giving affection, getting affection is very good for the relationship.
Do you think? Do you think it's people doing this on purpose, or is it just a natural thing that comes about when you're mad at somebody? You just kind of shut it off. That's just a natural. Hey, I'm mad at you, and it just happens to come with the fact that the affection also goes with it.
Absolutely. You can't role play being affectionate. If you're angry with someone, and then you go up and give them a hug, they can tell it's fake. Right, so you don't want to do that. But you want to avoid that pattern in a relationship where you're mad with your spouse, or you think, I'm not going to show her affection, I'm going to see if she shows me affection. And I withhold it as part of a strategy.
That's bad.
And then she starts to withhold it, I withhold it. And over time, you'll see couples who really don't show affection of any kind to one another.
Can we go back to the affection in public? So let's say you're in a relationship that one person is the touchy-feely one, and then your husband doesn't like it, or wife not so much. What do you do? Like, who kind of wins in that?
Yeah, that's right. Who's right?
You usually will win.
You usually are right.
Is that right?
always right.
Your husband doesn't strike me as a public PDA, touchy-feely type of guy.
If you want to turn it into me.
And I'm not that way either.
I love to hug, kiss, not too much where it grosses people out, but I don't mind.
Right.
My husband, not so much.
Right. So you want to negotiate that before you go to a party.
Negotiate that.
Well,
Negotiate
but
that.
see, I did that
We're
to
going
you.
to a party. You want me to sit with him in the car and say, okay, here are the rules about showing.
Well, just for him to say, I know you don't like it when I show a lot of public affection. I'll be cautious about that. But don't withdraw from me publicly. That embarrasses me. Or if you're out in public and you're showing affection to other guys, not that you mean anything by that, but you're just being affectionate, and he gets jealous. You want to be able to talk about that, because you can say, look, I'm an affectionate person. I like to, when I'm talking to people, touch them. It doesn't mean anything. And for him to tell you, listen, when you show a lot of affection, come over and hug me when I'm talking to my friends. I feel like you're saying he's mine. Back off. And that can happen. You're in a new relationship, and your boyfriend keeps coming over and grabbing you because you're talking to other men. That can be awkward.
Right, that's awkward. That's awkward. But not when you've been with somebody for 16 years.
When you've been with someone for 16 years, you just accept that they don't like public displays of affection. If you're the,
he should know you at this point, right?
Some
he knows
people
that that's
just don't
how you
know.
are.
Honestly, some people, because I did a little research on this years ago, some people just don't like to be touched. It makes them uncomfortable.
Some people, yes. But anybody who doesn't like to be touched either is very introverted, or they grew up in a family where touching wasn't a common, comfortable thing.
Okay. That was good.
So show lots of love and affection. Be affectionate.
Yes.
Now I'm getting jealous.
Oh, I got some for you too. I got it for everybody. You want one? I give you one. Okay. Dr. Levak, thank you for being here. Why is that weird?
I don't know.
Hug somebody today.
She always says to me that I don't like to be touched.
He doesn't like to be touched.
I just don't necessarily need to be touched by my coworkers.
Right.
Dr. Levak, thank you for being
She
here.
punches me every once in a while.
Good stuff.
Time now for your morning